Just different.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'm stuck in my ways. Paper is all we about, nigga. All that beefing for the lame dudes. They just be running their mouth, nigga. Had me call a broken rumble. Had them grimy niggas run up in your house, nigga. Cannon all up in your mouth. Ugh. Rick James on your couch. Whoa. Cheddar bang with the cloud. Oh, Barry Blue with the account. Oh, only losers talking down, but looking up to me when I come around. That's why I got the crown. These dudes ain't ill rapping, they frail, nigga. That shit I can't feel, lacking the skill. I'm sleeping on rappers like Bill after the pill, yeah. Fuck is on your mind, boy. Came back to put you niggas back in line, boy. Get a good looking niggas on your side, boy. Oh, bitch niggas, whole click a bunch of tomboys. God, Staten Island, yeah, it's mine, boy. I ain't trying, I just do it on the side, swear to God. How y'all in the booth all day and still playing catch up? You ain't even got a job. Defeat these niggas in my leisure. Beastin', rest in peace when I'm on that feature. Beastin', he's rapping, immaculate, feed him. Niggas G'ing him if they saying they seeing him. See me and my niggas one of a kind. Probably why everybody be so mad at us all the time. I ain't aiming at nothing, I'm just detonating the bomb. It's a brand new line since we messing with niggas' minds.
Fuck around and have a Billy in a Pico. Just a Rigo for a grip. Leave a nigga stitch on the lead low. To me, you niggas is fruit of the loom. They keep it brief though. We on leave a nigga reformed. I ain't meek though. See all of my niggas riding in the streets though. None of us ain't doing Willie. Started on you like a hilly. I'm up in the semi, no bluff. It'll lift a nigga up. Try to tell the niggas that I be the one with the wave. Got a little shorty with the pose. In the stage, all my niggas black and with the white. A bunch of renegades. You ain't with the action on my life. You niggas just a rage. You ain't gotta act on with the shits, nigga. Messing with the flow, cause about how I flip, niggas. Stepping up the medication, get a dish, nigga. Barry with the bat, just hit me when you need a hit, nigga. Known fact, I'ma knock it out the park. CBS is lighting up the dog. You don't wanna see the spark. Pop a nigga, let us see the twirl. You can have the Allen, nigga. I'ma need the word. Known fact, I'ma knock it out the park. CBS is lighting up the dark. You don't wanna see the spark. Still gon' do it. Give a fuck about who do it first. You can have the Allen. I'ma need the universe.
I create the way. These niggas riding around it. I create the way. These niggas riding around it. I create the way. These niggas riding around it. I create the way. These niggas riding around it. Yeah. Fuck it, I'm stuck in my ways. Paper is all we about, nigga. All that beefing for the lame dudes. They just be running their mouth, nigga.
Me and my niggas one of a kind. Greatest of all time. I create the wave. These niggas riding around it.
Boom shakalaka. You already know what it is. It's Friday.
Yep.
Knicks versus Nets. Who run the city? T-Time, Big Fan, Breezy. We are in the building.
That's
Shout
a
out to
fact.
everybody that's already in the building. Press like for your boys. Share all that good shit. You feel me? What's good, bro?
Oh man, you know, I figured you start the show with you and birthday, but you know, you a Knicks fan, so I thought you would mention it, but I don't know, man. Do y'all love you and still in New York, man? What's
listen,
going
man.
on?
First of all, you already know. You already know I'm not one of those people that's always wishes celebrities happy birthday. That's just not my thing. You feel me? They don't care or even see when I wish them happy birthday. And I've called Hewen the greatest Nick of all time many times on this show. So don't do that. You feel me? Don't do that. But best believe it was represented on all Knicks-ish pages today that it was Pat's birthday. You heard?
I respect it. I respect it.
So don't do that. Don't do that.
Nah, I was looking at, they were showing his stat, and it was like, yo, even if, again, I was just talking heavy and I ain't mean nothing by it, the true stat of him not being there and the impact he had on the Knicks franchise is in contrast to now and what happened after he left. The numbers, like, I was like, yo, I thought I was just saying all that, but it's really true, bro. Like, his numbers is serious. Right, like right here, right? It say, what it say? Oh man, you went from 1988 to 2001, 18 playoff series, won 81 playoff games. Knicks since getting rid. That mean y'all ain't want him. Like, got rid of him. Of you in 2001 to 2022, won 1 playoff series, won 10 playoff games. Like, that's a dramatic difference, bro.
Yo, Patrick Ewing was way past his prime when we decided to trade him. You feel me?
Got rid of
like
him.
I said,
that's the words they used.
Well, that media always got choice words when they talk about the Knicks. You feel me? Patrick Ewing was Patrick Ewing was 36, coming off a Achilles tear and with 2 bad knees, bro. You feel me? The technology on Achilles tears was nowhere near what it is today. You could see by his stats the years after he left the Knicks that he was a shadow of himself and should have retired instead of going to wanting an extended contract and going to another team. You feel me? But all love to Pat, greatest nigga all time. You feel me? And as far as the Knicks' success after, we've never had another talent like Patrick Ewing since. You feel me? We haven't had another first-round draft pick since Patrick Ewing. You feel me? No,
So
number one.
RJ is the closest, the third draft pick?
Absolutely. Since Patrick
Okay.
Ewing, that's the closest we've been since, 1986? 1985, I think we drafted Pat.
Do you
The year
think
before I was
RJ
born. 36
think-
years ago.
Yeah.
36 years ago was the last time we had a number 1 overall draft pick. And think about all the years we've been bad. It's really atrocious.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Listen, don't do that because we can talk about all of the years that the Nets been bad.
No, we
You
just
talk
talking
about all
the
the
Knicks
playoff
right now.
You
Go
talk about
ahead.
all the playoff series that we won since Patrick gone. The Nets ain't looking much better, bro. Let's be honest.
I only mention him because it's his birthday. You
Let's
feel
be
what I'm
honest,
saying?
bro. Y'all been out the first round, I think, twice since Jason Kidd. The last time y'all been to the finals, y'all been out the first round twice. So we won 1 playoff series. Y'all won 2. Congratulations.
Yo, it run deep with the Knicks and the Nets, man. I'm telling you, I read this book. I recommend this book to everybody so y'all know ain't no copyright infringement and nothing like that. This is not my book. I did not write it. It's wrote by, I think, a Rick Laughlin. History of the Nets from Teaneck to Brooklyn. When I realized what happened, it's some key things I get into, but just staying with it, yo, it's deep, bro, between the Knicks and the Nets, bro. Y'all really did block us. I seen history, like in here. It's like what y'all really did, and y'all some dirty, low down scoundrels, man. Y'all ain't want no parts of
explain
us
yourself.
being in a city. All right, I'm glad you asked. I'm about to get into this, and like for real, like when I was reading this, I was like, yo, I can't believe this. It was more than cap. It's not like, oh, I'm just saying it to say it. Like, nah. And since the beginning, hold on. The story of the Nets franchise started in 1967, and I don't want to go on and on. I'm gonna skim through. And the play.
I mean, get to the part where you're talking about we blocked y'all.
Here go right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Naturally, Brown sought to name his team the New York Freighters, but later filed for a name change to the New York Americans. He aimed to play at Manhattan's 69th Regiment Armory. That deal fell through just 3 months before the ABA's opening day, due in large part to the pressure from the New York Knicks on the Armory to back out over concerns related to territorial rights. The Knicks obstructing their crosstown rivals' path reflected a theme throughout the Nets' continued pursuit to gain acceptance into the ABA and eventual admission into the NBA nearly a decade later. Need I say more? Like,
Bro,
that's direct right there.
Bro, I put it like this. In any business that you have, especially in an era where basketball wasn't reeling in the bucks that it is today, why would you want anybody else? That's like you selling, like you on the block. Why would you want your competitor to set up shop on the next corner over from you? What you gonna do? You gonna run them off that corner because they taking food out of your mouth, bro. Like, that's just smart business. Like, businesses from the beginning of time has done the same exact thing. You feel me? Like, unless you're going to do something like the Clippers and pay us to play in our arena on days that we are off, that's a different story. But you want to set up your own shop not too far from where we are eating? Nah. Get up out of here. You feel me? They're great business by the New York Knicks. Thank you.
To just confirm what you said, it says, and I'm done with it after this, just because I'm landing a plane. Brown was turned away at every possible attempt to find a suitable replacement to the 69th Regiment Armory for his team to play his home games. Nearly all potential venues in New York were either fully booked or simply unwilling to ruffle the feathers of the mighty. I was reading this the other day on my blog and it said mighty. I went off. Like, that's how they described the Knicks back in the day, mighty. Like, unwilling to ruffle the feathers. Like, excuse me? We're not ruffling feathers. Like, this is what it was back then. It ain't that now. You see, we run a city. It ain't that
don't
now.
Run anything. Y'all don't run anything.
Hold on. It says mighty New York Knicks by allowing a professional team out of an ABA squad to play in the same city as the proud ABA franchise. And y'all tried to play us like, oh, they ABA, they ain't the NBA. But the ABA brought a lot of flair to the NBA, made the NBA better. In fact, I'll take it there to say that. And I'll ask you this, T-Time. The championship teams for the Nets versus the championship teams for the Knicks, who win those games? The Nets.
The Knicks, absolutely. All day in
the
America.
Nets. The
what
Nets
are you talking
win.
about? Willis Reed, Clyde Frazier. What are you talking about? Dick Barnett?
Hold on,
the
let me look
Busher?
at the...
What are we talking about? Are you serious? Are you seriously gonna sit here? Yo, are you seriously?
It's possible,
bro.
It's possible. It's possible the Nets could have won that. They championship teams.
It's actually, there's 5 Hall of Famers on those championship teams, bro. What are you talking about?
I think the ABA players was better than the NBA players back then.
No, that's cap.
No,
if that was the truth,
they wouldn't have to dismantle.
If that was the truth, they wouldn't have to dismantle their organization to come
I think
to
that's
the
Big Bank,
NBA.
Little Bank.
You
I
feel
think
me?
NBA was Big Bank. ABA was Little Bank.
No, bro. That's ridiculous cap that you spitting right now, bro.
I don't know,
because
man.
the fact of the matter is this, right? The fans are going to go where the talent is. If you saying that ABA players were so much better, the fans would have flocked to the ABA more. It was more exciting because they did different things, the 3-point line, the slam dunk contest, but the actual talent everybody knew was in the NBA. That's why the NBA stood the bro. If you put if you put Wilt Chamberlain in the ABA, he's scoring 100 points every night, bro. Every night he's scoring 100.
I'm glad you said that. Can I say something? Can I rebuttal to that?
No, I'm not done because the way this
bro.
started. This is the way you started saying that you think the ABA Nets would
have more talent.
Would have beat the Knicks again. There's 5 Hall of Famers on that team: Willis Reed, Walt Clyde, the Busher. You feel me? Dick Barnett, Phil Jackson. Even though he was coming off the bench, you feel me? What are we talking about, bro? There's no way in the world you gonna sit here and tell me just because they had Dr. J, they was gonna beat. You know how nice Walt Clyde was? I think you really don't understand how nice Walt Clyde Frazier was, bro. Like, I think you don't understand. And then you add Earl the Pearl Monroe to that too. Come on, bro. What are we talking about? Dr. J could not beat all those guys. By himself, he could not do it, bro. Name me somebody else on them ABA teams besides Dr. J. That was nice. Please.
I'm not gonna name you nobody else besides Dr. J. I mean, honestly, I was looking for the roster. I couldn't find it. The truth is that I'm not saying it because of that. I'm reading a book and they explain and contrast the ABA from then till now and explain that the reason why Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell was dominating the league because the NBA was a way more slower pace. This is the content I'm reading. This is what they're saying. They're saying that the NBA was a way more slower pace league, and what they did was feed the big man. That's all the game was about with the NBA, and that's why Wilt Chamberlain, i.e., right, can get 100 points a game, right? And I'm not saying, and I'm saying this all facts. This is coming content straight from the book. They said the highest scoring game in the ABA was 177 points.
Does that mean they ain't playing no defense?
No. And they say that they rebuttal that. They say it's not that they weren't playing no defense. It was just the high pace of the game. Now, that being said, you could debate it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's the argument of the pace of the game, modern day NBA and the ABA back then, showing the influence of the ABA on the NBA. And yeah, I agree that the ABA made the NBA better because of the style of play, the 3-pointer, mainly the 3-pointer. You know what I'm saying? And the 24-second shot clock. You know what I mean? A lot of things came from the ABA. So again, that's where the conversation comes from of asking who will win, because notably those guys are Hall of Famers. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying they could be beat, and the next championship team players probably could beat them.
That's cap. And I'm gonna tell you why that's cap again, because just because there wasn't a 3-point line doesn't mean people wasn't shooting from that range, because they were. You feel me? They were absolutely in the NBA shooting from that range, even though it was still 2 points. So
it's still mainly what I said, though, feeding the big man.
But again, you talk about how the game was solely feeding the big man. Walt Clyde Frazier was a point guard, and he was eating. He was scoring 25 points a game in playoff games. What are we talking about?
We're talking about the player with the most points in the league is a center.
Again, it wasn't just
that's
that.
A fact.
But you're talking about the Knicks. I'm talking about the Knicks.
I'm saying to add to the point that I was making about the NBA feeding the big man.
The beginning of the conversation was the Nets championship beating the Knicks, and that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about Walt Clyde Frazier and Earl Pearl Monroe was giving buckets, and they were fucking guards, bro. You feel me? They weren't centers. You feel me? Willis Reed was the captain. He was giving buckets. But it wasn't just him. It was the guards that also was giving buckets. Walt Clyde was hitting people with that nice midi, getting to the basket. Earl of Pearl, they passing. Yeah, Walt Clyde Frazier was a world-class defender, bro. Steals wasn't even a stat back then. But I guarantee you, if they was counting steals, Walt Clyde Frazier would be one of the all-time leaders in steals in the NBA if they counted that stat, because he was a world-class defender. You feel me? And you can't even name me nobody or the championship roster from.
I got it right here. No, I could. You got George Bucci. You got Jim Eakins. You got Rich Jones. You got Ted McCain. You got Swin Nader. Like, yo, man, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Who are these people? Who are these people?
Yo, they basketball players that helped Dr. J win a championship. Because as you know, one player cannot win a championship, i.e. Patrick Ewing. If that was the case, he was one of the best players, but it took him all. But y'all ain't built around him the right way, so y'all lost.
In the ABA, they can't. Obviously, in the ABA, one person can win a championship because nobody know who the hell none of them other guys are. They don't even, like, who are these guys, bro? You feel me? Who are these guys? I've never heard these names in my whole entire life. You feel me? Never heard them. Like, listen, I know Dr. J. I know the Iceman. George Gervin came over with the Spurs. You feel me? Like, I know these people. But the guys that you just named, how are they supposed to beat Walt Clyde Frazier, Earl of Pearl Monroe, Willis Reed? How are they supposed to beat them? Dick Barnett. How are they supposed to beat these people?
Yo, I don't listen, man. It would have been interesting to see. I just wanted to ask the question because I knew it a strike conversation. But the truth is that if you ask these ABA players, hopefully they're still alive, they're gonna say, yeah, we would have beat those guys. There's no way they would have said that, oh, those guys are just that much better. Like they were going
no competitive will. No competitive
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like again, respectfully, at the end of it, so we don't get lost in the sauce. I want to protect the source, right? Easy plug. What I wanted to say is that the fast-paced game, like the NBA is fast-paced right now, and they were fast-paced back then, scoring 130, 40, 50, like regular. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that to say, you know, the big man and the point guard or the two guard was dangerous, not just the center for the ABA. So I'm saying the talent might have been better in the ABA back then before the merger.
All I'm saying is this. When you talking about the Knicks versus the Nets at that time, I just gave you the fact that the Knicks guards were a big part of the offense. You feel me? Like, and then you also got to talk about by who rules you playing by. Are we playing by the ABA rules? Are we playing? And I think the Knicks could have adapted to either one of those because, one, they were lockdown defenders on the perimeter, and Willis Reed was no joke as a center. You feel me? Like, bro, like I think it would have been a really bad time. The only person I think they would have a hard time with, I know that they would have had a hard time with was Dr. J. Dr. J is the only person I've seen that dribbled the ball with one hand and palmed it on the way up and laid it up with the same hand. He's the only person in the world I've ever seen that. That's the only, like, so I know we would have had a problem with
Dr. J.
I had a hard time with Dr. J, but bro, you got to understand how good the 70 and 72 Knicks were, bro. Like yo, shout out to Brandon Wright. You know what I mean? I was just about to say that. They beat Wilt Chamberlain, bro.
Talk about it. Talk heavy.
They beat Wilt Chamberlain, bro. The Knicks beat Wilt Chamberlain. Walt Clyde Frazier has arguably won. No, actually, we won in 72. But you wouldn't like we won in 72. We got two of those things. 2 NBA championships, something you know nothing about.
We got 2 ABA championships.
Nobody cares about those.
But I'm saying they should be worth just as much as an NBA championship.
I mean,
because the talent over there was heavier.
Yeah, hold on. I think the Spurs got some ABA championships. Do they hang those banners in their arena? Do they care about those? I don't even think they care about those. I don't even think the Spurs have their ABA championships hanging up in their arena. And that's how worthless they are compared to their NBA championships. But back to what I was saying. Yo, Wilt Chamberlain at that time was the most dominant still probably the most dominant basketball player in NBA history. You feel me? You talking about somebody that was getting 25, 30 rebounds a night, had a season when he averaged damn near 50 points, or he did average 50 points or some shit like that, some wild number like that, and the Knicks beat him. And Walt Clyde Frazier has one of the most greatest game sevens in NBA history. I think he had a triple-double, 27, 20, high 20 points. I can't remember. I don't have the stat in front of me. High 20 points, double-digit assists and rebounds. And I watched the game. If they counted steals, he could have had a quadruple-double because he had that many steals in the game. He could have been the first. I don't know he could have probably been the first player, if that stat was counted, with a quadruple double in a game 7 to win a championship. How are you beating those guys? You not. Shout out to Kev in here, Marlon on the YouTube check-in. Shout out to the guys, Brandon Wright in the comments.
Yo, appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to everybody on the pull up, even the Knicks fans. And again, I said all I have to say, this podcast makes sense, man. There's been a rivalry before we even got here, and you could see from literature content that it's been that from the very start. And listen, it begs the question, and I asked it. Now, I won't debate about players that I don't have knowledge about, but still, respectfully, they are both championship teams. So I won't debate whether or not they would because I don't even know the players to say who would do what to keep it real with you. But yeah, I just wanted to ask that, and I did. Shout to Dr. J and shout to the NBA because they set up a situation where the ABA got some money because they played in the ABA. Like ABA players, when the merger happened, if they didn't get to the NBA or if they did or something like that, they got money like X amount of money per year, and they set that up. And shout to Scott Tarter. I read about him too, and he had the Dropping Dimes Foundation. And that's what he would do. He kind of unionized the ABA and made sure that, guys who had medical bills and stuff like that were taken care of. And, it's basketball. It runs deep, man. And it's been in the city for a long time. And now we got this podcast called Who Run a City. And I love it. It's the off season. Y'all rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. And I'm saying like, share, comment, subscribe. And you know what I mean? I just wanted to give the fans their flowers real quick. You know what I'm saying? To let you know I appreciate y'all.
I agree with all that. You feel me? But what you was talking about before, the championship, the ABA championship Nets could have beat the NBA championship Knicks is blasphemy, bro.
Man, I can't call it, won't spoil it, man.
Blasphemy.
I just wanted to stay off just out of respect, man. Shout out to Brittany Griner. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask T-Tom what he felt about it. I'll give my spill on it real quick, but I want to hear what you're say.
Mine's might be a little bit controversial, so get yours out the way.
All right. Well, what I will say is that feel free to express your opinion, jump in the comments. We trying to. You know what I'm saying, please don't curse at me, Facebook user. Words. This is cursing at me right here, man. Please don't come up here cursing. You know what I mean?
That's Kev. That's Kev.
I know.
I don't know why. I
They
don't know
always
why
call on
his come
Facebook.
up Facebook user. That's wild, bro.
Yeah, but I think Brittany Griner, they tagged her for weed, and I would like to
She
say,
had the weed gel cartridges. They
mhm,
called her. She was coming through the airport with those joints.
right, right. I just think that it's unfair for her to get 9 years for that. If it was vice versa, and let's call it what it is, because I want to get to the solution, and I don't want to be long-winded. The WNBA don't make enough money. Somebody got to start supporting the WNBA, and these players won't have to go foreign and make way more money than they do over here in the WNBA. They go over there, make a lot of money, and the only reason why they go over there to play extra basketball, because that's what it is, because their first job is the WNBA, not the other
Yeah.
way around, unless they see it fit because they make more money on that side and they make that a priority over the WNBA. That could be it as well, because you're gonna make whatever making you the most money your priority. So her going there and just being in the mix of this, I guess it went, you know what I mean, political. You know what I mean. You got political figures discussing the matter. You know, it went past the NBA commissioner. I heard him speak on it. I heard a few others speak in her defense, and I'm one of them. You know, I feel like this is something that they're using her as an example to make a statement about something else, and she's caught in the crossfire, and it's terrible because we talking about weed. And I could go on and on about the good things about weed, but I'm not here for that. I'm actually here to say that she's innocent, and I don't. 9 years is criminal. You know what I'm saying? To give her 9 years is wrong, and we need to fix that some type of way. And the only way, and to land the plane, what I will say is that shout out to Kyrie Irving, players like him. You see the significance of him giving the WNBA money. If we could find a way for the WNBA to make more money, they won't feel the pressure to play overseas in the first place. I'll land a plane saying that.
Oh man, here we go. I got some shit to say. First of all, I want to say I think it's done for weed and THC to be illegal anywhere on God's green earth. God put it here for me and you to enjoy. You feel me? Even though I don't personally partake, you know what I mean? I still think that it's ridiculous that it's illegal anywhere on the earth. But
Right.
the fact of the matter is, it's not what I think. It's the laws of these countries. You feel me? And you're going into a country that you know that it's illegal, and you decided to smuggle these cartridges over into their country. Like, why would you put yourself to be at risk of getting arrested in Russia anyway? A country that's not even your home. That's not smart in the first place, right? That's not smart in the first place. That's strike number one. You're breaking laws in a country that you're not from, and you know that you're doing it. You feel me? So that's one thing. And the fact of the matter is that the law is the law there. She broke the law. She got caught. She's arrested. I don't like all this caping for her. There's hundreds of thousands of people right here in America that's arrested for weed that need to be free. You feel me? That's doing time for weed that need to be free. You feel me? Like, though I do have a little bit of a soft spot for what she's going through, because I don't believe anybody should be arrested for weed. But
Right.
I don't think her situation, to me, is something that should be like, oh my God, they're doing her so filthy. She made the decision to break the law. You feel me? Like, that's one thing that we're missing. Like, she made the decision to break the law. And then you got some media personalities. If this was LeBron James, he'd have been freed already. The reason why if LeBron, first of all, LeBron James ain't never broke the law in all his years of that we know of. You feel me? All his years of being in the NBA, LeBron
Black
ain't got no dirt on him.
excellence. He's
You feel
black
me? So
excellence.
don't even put LeBron James in that situation, because I don't think LeBron James would have been dumb enough to smuggle weed into Russia. You feel me? I don't think it'd have been dumb enough, first of all. Second of all, the reason why is the difference because their sport, like you say, they sport make more money. The reason why the WNBA don't make more money, because nobody goes to see the WNBA. So all those feminists that's complaining about the pay gap between the WNBA and the NBA, how about you go buy tickets?
Talk about it.
How about all you feminists go and buy tickets and pack out arenas for the WNBA? How about
Talk about it.
you tune into all the WNBA games and get their ratings up? These teams are getting these franchise, these NBA players are getting paid off the revenue of their sport.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting paid off the profits of their sport.
Right.
And the WNBA is being sustained by the profits of the NBA. The reason why there's a WNBA is because the NBA is charitable in giving them the excess money that they make. But back to Brittany Griner, she's bugging, bro. She's at fault. 9 years for weed, yes, that's absolutely ridiculous, but she broke the law in a foreign country. Yo, the laws in foreign countries are ridiculous, bro.
Listen.
They're more strict when it comes to drugs and things like that in foreign nations.
Yeah.
And you're an outsider. Coming in, bro, that's not smart business. I'm pretty sure you could have got weed over there. I'm pretty sure you could have. Pretty sure. It's Russia. You feel me? There's everything over there. There's some way that you could have hit somebody on the team like, yo, where that? You decide to go through an international airport with it on you. Now you want my heart to bleed for you for breaking the law when is my fellow brothers and sisters sitting in jail right now? And they're talking about trading a international arms dealer because you smuggle weed? How is that balanced out? How is the U.S. having to give up an international illegal arms dealer? Somebody that's probably considered one of the most dangerous people in the world because of his trade.
Nasty work.
And the U.S. have to give him up because you smuggled weed? I guarantee you, this is not her first time going into Russia. I guarantee you the Russian authorities already knew that she was going to do the same shit that she's been doing. And now that this is war times, because they still going through their shit with Ukraine, are we going to use a bargaining chip for the U.S.? We're about to take one of their superstars and hold them hostage so we can get what we want from the U.S.
Hold on. Let me add to that, bro, because that's valid. And you get Brandon's comment real quick. He goes, there's a teacher in jail with her teacher in jail right now that was dating a Russian that was abusing her, scratched him on the nose in an attempt to get away. He called the cops and gave him more time than Brittany. Just adding to the point with this wartime and this politics and this country versus country. And, I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm just saying you can't be naive to these things. We have to be aware of what's going on. And to what T-Time said, Brittany Griner is an entertainer. She's playing basketball. An international arms dealer is doing. He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy in the movies. You want to swap those two people? Like we talking about these two. This an even swap. So again, it's just the U.S. is in a bad predicament because of it, because the light is on them about what they're going to do. And she's a WNBA player, and for them to mention LeBron, that's basically saying that I think it's the wrong argument to have. You know what I'm saying? I think the NBA from now on, or the WNBA, you know what I mean, should be cautious where players play. You understand what I'm saying? If you got a contract, or just how you say, you can't be privy to everything, but you definitely have to be cautious, be more cautious. And maybe the WNBA should, I won't say be held responsible, but definitely try to keep players savvy to what's going on with politics. Maybe some players, they just want to play and they feel like, I'm an entertainer. I'm here to play basketball. I ain't got nothing to do with them politics until you do. You feel what I'm saying? And then it's like, I don't think this is the first time politics makes examples out of athletes. You got even, Muhammad Ali with the USA, and I could probably give countless Mohamed Abdul Rauf and what happened with him, and just countless. Craig Hodges with Chicago. There's countless examples when political and sports mix, and it always ends bad for the player. I think players need to be more cautious, the NBA players and WNBA players, when their beliefs or whatever they're doing can interfere with political policies. You know what I mean? Try to shy away from things of that nature, because in history it never pans out for the player.
Yeah, and that's just my thing, bro. I think it's not up to the WNBA to monitor these grown ass people for not breaking the law in other countries, because the NBA, there's quite a few NBA players that live abroad that come here and go back and forth for their home countries. Like Luka was just playing in his home country. Yeah, I mean, Giannis sometimes go back to Greece and play. You feel me? Like there's a number of people that's in the NBA that go abroad to play. You feel me? And it's players that sometimes that don't get a U.S. contract that go overseas to play and then come back. It's all about you being a grown ass adult and understanding the situation you in. Like I'm not saying that you're not supposed to do what you do, but understand that there's consequences that come with that.
I want to say something. Just one thing.
I'm about to land the plane right now. You decide. You got to understand there's consequences that come with that. You understood that it was illegal for you to bring that over. You got caught. Now every time I see you, you got pictures with your glasses on, trying to look astute and make me feel sorry for you. When I really I do a little bit, because I just honestly don't think that nobody should be arrested for weed, but the fact of the matter is that you broke the law in their country and you got busted, bro. It's clipped for you. Yeah.
Well, you know how we always use the term land the plane. And what I will say, hey, Kalia, my favorite Knicks fan in the world. What's up, Kalia?
Hi, Solomon.
What's up? Yeah, where was I? I was saying about the the airport. Yeah, the airport. Shumpert just got caught in the airport. There's a bunch of entertainers that get caught in the airport. Do not bring anything through the airport. You need to either know what's going on when you touch down, or you don't know what's going on when you touch down. But bringing it through the airport, I hear countless entertainers, not just Brittany Griner. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, Shumpert the other day, he got 6 ounces. And again, the significance is they're not just getting caught any random place. They wasn't at the Waffle House about to have cheese, eggs, and grits. No, they wasn't at Walmart, at Walgreens. They wasn't at McDonald's. They wasn't nowhere but the airport. The airport, that's a red flag. That has to be a red flag, not to bring nothing there, weed or anything else that's going to get you in a situation where the authorities are going to look at you. You know what I'm saying? Because they play for keeps.
The airport, the airport is the place where, bro, you got to take off your shoes. That's the kind of security you going through. Like, why bring anything through there? Like, again, like, you're going to a country to play basketball. I'm pretty sure somebody on your team knows where to get it from. You feel me? Like, knows where to get it from. Now it's a lower risk. It's a lower risk of you getting caught because somebody on your team, I got the bread. Let me know where it's at. But you gonna decide to bring it through the airport when you got to go through the most security? Like, why would you do this? Like, and that's I'm just gonna leave it there, man. Like, it's unfortunate that she's arrested for weed, but she broke the law in another country, and that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. Like, for instance, y'all remember when Joel Santana got caught bringing a hammer through? He did time for that. He did his time.
Yeah, the airport.
It wasn't nobody crying, hey, why? He wasn't overseas. He was here, but it was no outcry about, he shouldn't be arrested. There's not going to be any outcry for Iman Shumpert he's probably going to have to do jail time. You feel me? Like, there's not going to be no outcry to free Iman Shumpert. The only thing is that she's a woman and she's abroad. That's why everybody's crying. for her to come home, but she broke the law, bro. Like, I'm not saying the law is right, but it is what it is. And
Yeah. Yeah, nah. Listen, I feel like at the end of the day, you gotta be responsible because, listen, the truth is that she would have never left if the WNBA made more money. So again, I like to focus on that side of it because she would have never been there had she made enough money here. And y'all, as women, this is the perfect opportunity to empower the NBA, the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to make sure there's a packed house. Shout to the New York Liberty. They play at the Barclays. Shout to my guy Trey B dot I dot T dot A dot. He got a clothing line. He be at the New York Liberty games. He be telling me that the point guard get busy. He's somebody that supports the WNBA. There are people that support the WNBA, but it's always a contrast to LeBron. I see the memes and they show what LeBron made in 1 year. That's what the whole season of the WNBA made in 1 year. And it's like, I get it. But at the end of the day, if y'all want that league to expand and become more than what it is now and grow and exponentially like y'all looking forward to, then y'all have to support the games. Females still go to NBA games. Let's put a poll up and see and ask that. Yeah, let's see that.
More than they do WNBA games. And
right, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yo, and that's the point, bro. Like, you can't cry about the pay gap when it's a business that pays the players off the revenue that's being made. You feel me? The reason, if it wasn't for the NBA giving them pretty much an allowance, the WNBA would no longer exist. They wouldn't exist in the first place if it wasn't for the NBA. The NBA gave the money to start up the league, and they're giving money to sustain the league because that league is not making enough money. And bro, I all these people who are crying about the pay gap between the NBA and the WNBA need to be on a soapbox, not complaining about how much the men make. Be on a soapbox trying to get people to come and watch their games. Pack out these stadiums. If they're packing up, like the Liberty used to play in MSG, it was empty in there, son. That's why they don't play there no more. It's cheaper for them to play in the Barclays. So that's why they there. That's why they there,
man. And I know a few people who support, but
I wasn't done. Right. Yeah, that's why they there. I was making a point. But again, if they're packing out the Barclays and the WNBA is making money, if the ratings are high and they getting more advertisement dollars, they can play their players more. Their union can go back to the table and be like, yo, y'all making this money. We need to get this money. You can't pay. Bro, if they paid any one player a half of what LeBron James make, the WNBA will go out of business. If they, as the revenue stands right now, if any player on any team made half of what LeBron James make, that team will go out of business in 2 years.
But that's the truth is, right, and that's the thing. Again, I think ultimately, like you said, it's not necessarily the obligation of the WNBA to monitor what the players do when they're outside of the WNBA. But this has to lead to something where they're cautious and aware of where they should play and should not play. Excuse me, I'll say that. And again, women put emphasis on seeing them play. You know what I mean? And do I like women's sports? I will say that I like WNBA. I like tennis, and maybe volleyball. And that's just me being honest. You know what I'm saying?
I saw somebody that had a very interesting idea.
And soccer too.
About WNBA. He's like, yo, they should lower the rim so they be able to dunk more. You feel me?
I like that. I like that.
They already play with a smaller basketball.
Exactly.
You feel me? I think if they catered to the physical abilities of the females, where there's more dunks, like those are exciting plays. That's what people watch their game for. They watch
Yeah.
the game like because there's no denying that these women are talented. Like they have great ball handling skills. They could shoot. They pass
Right.
really well. You feel me?
Right.
Like they are talented, but
But it's just it's
the,
modified.
the excitement part is watching the ability to watch somebody come down and yam it on somebody on any given play. Like there's only like maybe 4 people in the whole WNBA that could dunk, and they don't do it on a consistent basis because it's hard for them. Like Candace Parker is one that dunks on a consistent basis. I don't know. I haven't seen her play in a while, and I know she's getting older, so I'm not sure if she's still getting up like that. Brittany Griner was one of them. You feel me? But if they lower the rim and allow more people to be able to dunk on a consistent basis and have those exciting kind of plays, I think that would do a lot for their viewership and their attendance to games. You feel me? Because
Nah, I
sadly
totally
enough,
1,000% agree. 1,000%.
sadly enough, those games are not that exciting. You feel me? Like you have to be a real astute basketball savant and to enjoy it. Like
Nah.
to really understand the nuances and what's being done really well on the court and be like, oh, that was fire. How she did that. The very casual fan could go to an NBA game and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Did you see him jump over that whole entire human being? You feel me? Like that's the difference. So I think if they lowered the rim a little bit, you feel me, that allows for more dunking, I think that'll go tremendously well. And there's no knock to the skill level of the women of the NBA. I mean the WNBA. It's just to help y'all to cater to their physical limitations. You feel me?
Nah, that's
That's
facts.
all. Yeah.
That's facts. I totally agree. I just wanted to add and say they modified the basketball. They might as well modify the rim. But again, just getting back to the content of the book, they will explain that's what it was with the NBA and the ABA. It was kind of like the NBA and the WNBA, just in contrast, as far as big bank, little bank, or the big business or the small business. The ABA was always trying to do little things to bring interest from the fans or take fans from the NBA. They had a red, white, and blue ball. You know, the 3-point line, the slam dunk contest. These are all of the things that they were adding to the ABA to attract fans because the NBA had all of the fans. And I'm saying some of these same tactics the WNBA should use. You know what I mean? You know, try things, change the color of the ball, make it pink. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, try something. And I think that's what made the NBA want to merge with the ABA. Like, yo, you know what I mean? You can't. I think eventually, if the NBA would have stayed separate from the ABA would have been bigger than the NBA. It was smart for the NBA to merge with the ABA. The same reason, the same way the MLB was smart for merging with the Negro Leagues. Now, little stuff that you don't know that I read. The ABA allowed beds and froze. The NBA didn't. You feel what I'm saying? This is content that I'm getting straight from the book, and I'm saying that to say that, you know, there's certain things that make a league, and if the WNBA wants to stand out, they need to do more things to attract fans. I don't know what it is. What if they had Fashion Nova jerseys? I don't know. You know what I mean? But somebody needs to be on the marketing team going over these.
Some of their jerseys is fire, bro. Low key. Some of their jerseys is fire. Yo, I don't know what just happened to your sound, bro, but I can't hear you no more. Yeah. Yeah, but some of those jerseys is fire. Yeah, and I agree with what Big Fair Breeze is saying that something something has to be done to attract more fans. And I think it really starts with making the game more exciting. Yeah. Try to exit out and come back, bro. Yeah, I think it has something to do with just making the style of play more exciting. I think you could do that by lowering the rim and making dunking more easy for the women players. You feel me? Oh, Kev on the call up. Oh, it's 8 o'clock already. Kev was good. Who run the city, bro? Yo, Kev was good. Who run the city, bro? Yo. Yo, Kev was good. Who run the city? What's going on with your phone, bro? Kev gonna have to call back. I don't know what's going on. I'm answering him. Son ain't even picking, ain't responding. But yeah, they gotta find a way to make the game more exciting, man. And that's what it is. Like, cause again, they're very talented women on them basketball courts. The game is just not exciting. You feel me? It's not enough dunking and high flying action for most people.
Oh,
All right. Something happening. Yo, try to talk now.
Yo.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it sounds crazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
like
right,
you
what about
sound.
now?
You sound like a chipmunk. Yo, who run the city? Kept talking shit.
Yo.
I wanted to talk about that. I know I talked about that already, but the only thing with that, right, that gets to me is the people that bash her, like, knowing, I think a lot of people that bash her, like, you could say like 70-75% of those people probably done the same exact shit she did, just didn't get caught. That's my take on that, right? And that whole LeBron thing that y'all said that if it was LeBron, I think that Russia would have kept him, bro.
That's a fact. It'd have been worse.
I think Russia would have kept him, bro. I would have been like, well, we got the best player in the United States. Oh no, we keeping him. We keeping this man.
He'd have been a political prisoner, son.
What? Oh no, that would have been a win for them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I wanted to talk about, man. I hope y'all good, bro.
I appreciate you, Kev.
Yo, shout out to
Call
Kev.
up,
Yo, I still
I
sound like a
forgot
chipmunk.
Yeah. All right, later.
I sound like a chipmunk for real?
Yeah, bro. That should sound crazy.
Oh man. All right, let me
It's
see
bad.
some.
It's
What about
bad
right
high
now?
pitch. It's glitchy. It sounds crazy.
What about right now?
Still.
I think I need a new interface, man. This interface got me sounding rocky. Oh shit.
Yo, bro, sound crazy right now.
So hold on, I can't do the rest of the show like this.
Nah,
It sound crazy.
if that's up to you, bro. But yo, listen, that joint
Hold
sound
on.
crazy. When you watch the playback,
Alright.
you gonna be rolling, bro. Yo,
All right, it's still wild.
yeah, it's still
It's just
wild.
wild.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on,
hold
bro.
on.
I don't know what happened. What you hit? What chord you knocked over? Word. But yeah, man. So I guess you on mute now. You muted yourself.
all right. What about now?
Nah.
I ain't messing with it though.
Yo, you might have to unplug your mic and all that shit, man, and go back to the other way. Nah, I'm talking about from your laptop. You did you on your laptop. You did your show from the laptop last week. You know what I mean? Without the mic and all that. You might have to do that again right now so we can get through the show.
What about now? You can hear me?
Nah, that's crazy. You unplugged everything?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna leave the studio.
Yeah, because it still sounded. Yo, Marlon, that's facts. Yo, Barry was good. Yeah, that's facts, Marlon. Barry was good. We see you in the building, bro.
Yo.
Well, Kev said you good on his end. Let me check the
What about now? Can you hear me? I should be
Kev,
good.
I don't know. It might be my shit because Kev said you good on his end.
You. What about now? You can hear me?
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm gonna check to see. I'm gonna check on Facebook to see if you sound wild or not, bro. Keep talking.
So all right, so yeah, man, we back at it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all like, sharing, and comment. So all right, so yeah, man, we back at it, man. Thank y'all for
Nah,
tuning in.
that's
Oh
my
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You sound wild on my shit.
Oh
Hold
yeah,
on.
nah.
Yeah, yeah.
If
On
it's
the
funny,
live, you
then
good.
laugh. You know what I'm
Hold on.
saying? But
Let me exit out and come back because I can't do this with you sounding like that, bro. I'm sorry. I can't.
all right, nah, it's all good. It's all good. Damn, I unplugged the whole thing, man.
Yeah,
Word.
hold on. Damn, I'm on
Yeah, yeah.
my iPad. I don't even know how to leave.
Shout to Brandon. Blessings. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Rocking with us through the technical difficulties. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, man. Subscribe. We gonna be on YouTube heavy, man. And you know, if y'all got stuff that y'all want us to discuss, that's cool too. It's the off season. Whatever y'all want to talk about, let's talk about it because it's the off season and we can do nothing but talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that love basketball. I said I was gonna watch point guards and I didn't get a chance to, but I did see a little thing. Shout out to Marlon. I seen something that Marlon had posted on his page about Kenny Anderson, and you know his mother had called him Chips when he named him that when he was born, and he got busy at Georgia Tech. Him, Dennis Scott, one more player. They was like a big three in college, and they won the ACC tournament one year, and you know what I'm saying. He was getting busy, you know what I mean. So you know, I had seen a little bit of the content that Marlon had posted about Kenny Anderson. So shout out to
All right,
Marlon.
now you sound good, but
Yeah, I gotta unplug my whole shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was mine.
nah. Yeah, my
What
fault,
about
bro.
now? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I hear you great, bro. Yeah.
All right.
Yo, but yeah, like let's get into some Knicks and Nets content, man. We spent a lot of time
Oh
talking about
yeah.
Brittany. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah, let me kick it off real quick, man, because I know we're
Go
gonna
ahead,
end
go
up
ahead.
spending most of the time talking about the Nets anyway. So,
Yeah.
again, this old. I mean, Nick fans be killing me, man. This is this rumor about the three team trade between the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Knicks. Uh, the main parts of the trade was saying Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, Westbrook to Utah, and a whole bunch of picks and stuff to Utah. And I forgot what the Lakers get back. I forgot what players. I can't remember right now. But again, more cap. You feel me? More cap. There's no like there's no facts behind it. Anyway, it was a report that conversation happened like a month ago. The talks for the Knicks and the Jazz have died all the way down, and I'm cool with that. But it's cap. It's cap, bro. Y'all gotta stop falling for the same trick from these content creators on social media all the time. Like, especially like the content creators that heavily base their content on the Knicks. There's nothing to report. There's nothing really to report about the NBA right now, period. Unless you covering all the players playing in these pro-ams. You feel me?
Right.
So what they gonna do, they gonna make any content up just to get y'all talking for the clicks and the likes. And y'all gotta stop falling for the same tricks, man. There's no three-team trade about to happen between the Knicks, the Jazz, and the Lakers. It's not about to happen, bro. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Man, you know, I agree with a lot of that. You know, KD posted that went up to to Josiah and kicked the Willie Bobo, but I ain't hear a word yet. And again, the rhetoric is the same. It's been 4 weeks about him getting traded. We haven't seen anything. When I looked at the roster and what it is with him coming back to the Brooklyn Nets, him and Kyrie, I'm interested. As far as the offseason stuff, yeah. I like seeing KD play basketball versus Dinwiddie. Yeah, it gotta be some aggression there. You know what I'm saying? I seen them going at each other. I seen KD going at Dinwiddie for real. Kyrie playing basketball. And again, that's my thing. They playing basketball. They're not playing basketball together, which I guess people can make conversation of, but separately they're playing basketball. With everything going on, you know, I'm eager. I even look on Google to see when the the schedules was going to be released, and they said from August 14th to August 20th. So I'm anticipating, as y'all know, me and T-Tom was kicking about the games last episode about what game we going to go see and this, that, and the third. And yeah, I keep it real. I'm interested in going to see the Knicks versus the Nets. If y'all want to set up a situation and y'all giving us enough support where we could send y'all to other games, that's Brooklyn Nets versus Philly, Miami, or whatever, then okay. But if y'all, and you even on my page too, I could even go as far to say that if it's a Brooklyn Nets game that y'all want me to push and try to, build the support and then get y'all in the game, or we could go to a game together, or y'all get 2 tickets, and then that's fine. But them Knicks Nets games, I'm either trying to go. Not to say I would go with T-Tom, but I would. I think that'd be dope too. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But I'm going.
We can make it happen. We can make it happen.
What I'm saying? Yeah, like I'm trying to go. We was trying to get y'all tickets, and we got y'all tickets to this game and that game. I want to focus on us getting those 4 games for this season. The 2 at the Barclays and 2 at the Garden. Nets versus Knicks. Knicks versus Nets. Call it how you see it, but see it and stream it with us. Be there, and if we there, y'all already know we've been faithful and loyal to 7 to 9 p.m. for the most part since we started. Please, if the game is on a Friday, forgive us. Let us go to the game. You understand? Maybe we get into a live situation where we could live stream some of it at halftime or something, or go live after the game. I don't know. I'm just saying. We trying to see that game, even if it's in the 7 and 9 slot. Yeah. Let me say that. So, yeah, I'm eager to see some basketball, man. I've been, watching as much basketball as I could, man. Watching highlight reels, crossovers, and all kind of stuff.
So, you spoke about players playing in off season. I feel like that's every player obligation to get some work in. Off season. You know what I mean? And speaking is which, wait a second, baby. Once I'm done with this, then I get it. Okay. So yeah, Jalen. So a program that Jalen Brunson played in I think it was Philly. I believe it was Philly. Some footage was leaked of that, and the boy looking good, man. One thing I liked about watching him play is his balance. You feel me? Like he's always on balance and in control. You feel me? And that's very important. You feel me? Like the way he breaks down the defense, the way he reads movements of the defensive players and stay controlled in all of that. His ability to get to the rim, his ability to create contact and create separation for his mid-range jump shot. His handles is fire. I'm excited to see what he's able to do on a team now that we finally have a point guard that can consistently break down defense and I've been complaining about this since Carmelo Anthony was on a team. I'm saying, like, because when Raymond Felton came back, he wasn't nearly as good as he used to be. He couldn't consistently break down the defense and get into the paint and create for other people, right? So now we got a situation where obviously we missed that last year, with Derrick Rose being hurt, not having a real point guard in the start position, with Kemba not being himself. Now we finally got that in somebody who plays with the kind of intensity and physicality that he plays with for somebody undersized. It was dope to see. It wasn't a long clip, pause, right? It wasn't but from what I saw, just the handles, the mid-range, the 3-point shots, I was like, oh yeah, he is going to be turned up this year, because I can't wait to see what he's going to do alongside Julius Randle, RJ Barrett. I think it's going to be something special. I think we're going to shock people like how we did the season where Julius Randle won Most Improved Player. I think we're going to have another shocking season like that.
No, I hear you. I mean, I expect y'all to be competitive. I thought y'all was going to be more competitive last season. And I'm not just talking about the sweep, even though we did sweep y'all, but I'm saying standing-wise. I thought that y'all was going to be heavy in the mix between 1 and 6 because, in my opinion, the playing makes the regular season more interesting. Now you can see who really tanking, and you could really see who, you know what I'm saying, is just not giving effort. I was listening to CJ McCollum the other day, and he was going off about how they would set up situations where they would take games off. Like, oh, you're gonna take this game off or that game off, giving each other rest, and that's just a mindset. You know what I mean? I think he was saying that, excuse me, the NBA team kind of prefers you to preserve your body, I guess, for the important games. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I understand the player want to preserve their body for the long run and the longevity of their career. But the fans deserve to see teams compete at top level. And I think you get that when you get good coaches that know how to share minutes between said players. The whole roster. I think if the NBA is going to continue to see players like LeBron who are healthy and playing at elite level at his age, the coaches are going to have to open up the roster to give these veterans rest and stop burning them out. I think some of the pushback on KD to Nash is the fact that he state in stuff like, yo, I would die out there if I got to. And I'm saying that to say, as fans, yeah, we want to see them compete at top level. But, as a vlogger kind of watching it close, you can't expect the play to play fresh like they just started in the middle of the first quarter to play the same level in the fourth quarter if they ain't getting no rest in the first, second, third quarter. Like, you can't burn these players out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to get them. Coaches got to find time to give their veterans rest and to for the longevity of their career. I'm not trying to go off on a tangent. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, far as players and longevity, the best thing that coach could do is learn how to share minutes, and that comes with chemistry and teams running it back. So yeah, I see what the Knicks doing with the running it back and adding pieces, and I think the whole league learned from the Brooklyn Nets to not dissemble your team season after season and still think you're going to have that edge to compete over a team that's cohesive. You know what I'm saying? Because cohesive brings chemistry, you know what I mean? So, and that chemistry brings easier buckets opposed to one-on-ones. So, I think we could be competitive if we play, you know what I mean? If we compete at top level.
I mean, with that roster that y'all have no choice but to be competitive, because if y'all not, that's ridiculous. You feel me? With all the big names that's on that roster, y'all have no choice but to be competitive. But I just think, again, y'all going to fall short of what the ultimate goal of putting that team together was, is winning a championship. I just feel like that. I don't think that the heart is going to be in that team, bro. Like, you got your two best players don't even want to be there. They don't want to be there.
Kyrie seemed like he want to be here now. We don't know. We getting different vibe now from Kyrie. Like, he want to play here
because he realized that he probably realized he's not getting traded. You feel me? So, but if you look at all his actions up until recently, it was screaming, "I want to be in LA." Hanging around, he been hanging around LeBron more than he has since he left Cleveland. Like, he ain't been around LeBron this much since he left Cleveland. Summer League, he's not sitting with the net players. He's sitting next to LeBron. He's sitting around LeBron. You know what I mean? Yeah. That shows me that you're not interested in being with the team. I think that now that he realized he's not going to be traded, he realized, all right, I'm going to conduct myself as a professional. You know what I mean? And be around team-oriented stuff, because if he wants another contract and a hefty one, like I believe he does, he got to start acting right. Ain't nobody gonna give him a bag if he start wilding out, bro. That's just not gonna happen. You feel me?
Nah, yeah. No, absolutely.
I believe KD gonna ball out because that's what KD do. That's just who he is. He's a basketball player. He's a baller for real. But when it comes down to it, and we had this conversation on the show quite a few times, and you said it too, when it comes to winning, it comes down to the passion and desire. I don't think they have the passion or desire to want to be Brooklyn Nets. You feel me? Especially playing for a coach like Steve Nash. I don't think that's the case. And you need passion and desire if you're going to win a championship and a good coach to add that on to that. So those are the reasons why I think y'all fall short. And I'm not sure what y'all going to get for Ben Simmons. It's still a question mark on him. That's until we see him actually play basketball. You feel me?
Yeah, he's been in the gym lately, and to be honest, I like to see that. You know what I mean? You could go off for only what you've seen, and I've seen him working out. I've seen him play basketball, and again, I seen Seth Curry at the Liberty game. I seen Royce O'Neal at the Liberty game. I seen Day'Ron Sharpe, Kessler Edwards at the Liberty game, and I like that because Royce O'Neal, he's a new player on the team, and him going to the Liberty game shows that he's willing to be a teammate. And when I heard the interview about him, he's tough. He got his tooth knocked out and came back and played and then the same game or the same day or something like that. And I'm saying that to say, it's a certain toughness that the Brooklyn Nets were missing. Excuse me, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. That I think Royce O'Neal could bring. And I think them chilling with each other, and Ben Simmons was at the game too, at the Liberty game. They was all chilling with each other at the game. And, just them building that camaraderie.
Ben Simmons liked to be seen more than he liked to play basketball.
Nah, it's fine. Listen, I'll take all, I talk heavy about the Brooklyn Nets, but after getting swept, I ate a little humble pie. So I've been less combative, you know what I'm saying? We got something to prove. This is definitely a season for us to prove something, and I think a lot of the players on our team feel the same way. They got that same vibe. Listening to the interviews, I get a lot from that as players as well. I like the interviews. I always tune into the players and how they think and what and what's going on with them. Again, I still feel like KD is valid for asking for the trade after everything that came out. And the main thing I was upset at is you made Nash our coach and you wonder why we're not successful. And to come to find out he wanted Tyronn Lue, it kind of had to push back. I had to step back a few times about, how I felt about KD and realize that he did a lot of good. Even though he only played in 90 games, a lot of the pieces that he did want to add, he did add. The only piece that Sean Marks did not let him add was the coach in a Tyronn Lue, but it was a major piece. When you talk about the KD brung to the team, he brung Landry Shaman, he brung Bruce Brown, he brung Jeff Green, he brung Patty Mills. These are some of the players that helped us win games with the Brooklyn Nets and KD out there. You know what I mean? Like Jeff Green stepped up big some nights that KD wasn't there. And I'm saying that to say that KD didn't miss. He just didn't have the say on the matter, you know what I mean, when it came to picking the coach. And I think that's the detriment of the relationship between Sean Marks and KD is Nash. The elephant in the room is Nash, the coach. I think that's what the conversation is about with Joe Tsai and making Brian Keefe the head coach and Steve Nash either in the front office or the assistant coach is the easy fix. Not necessarily to say that's the direction that they're going to go, but vlogging and doing my research, it's good reason for them to consider a Brian Keefe for all of the things that I mentioned prior.
The easy fix is to fire Steve Nash and Sean Marks. That's the easy fix.
Brian Keefe, head coach, man.
That's the easy fix. Both of them need to be up out of here. Like, that's the easy fix.
I wanted to add to that, to from what you said, and in the book I read this too, and I won't go to the book because I don't those places, but it's to what we're talking about right now. Brown, the guy who owned the ABA team, his first order of business was to get a general manager and a coach that the New York Metropolitan respected enough to garner respect from their players and staff. That's a box that was checked to get a coach and GM to be the head of the Nets when they came to the NBA. And who they got was a former Knicks player named Zaf Lawsky, but he's from Brooklyn. The first coach and GM for the Nets is a gentleman by the name of Zaf Lawsky that used to be a player for the Knicks in 46-47. And from 47 to 48, 46 to 47, he broke a record that LeBron broke in 2005. And from 46 to 47, he broke a record for 47 to 48, he broke a record, and KD broke the record for being the youngest with the scoring title. So Zaslofsky is his name, and Zaslofsky is a big deal. I know a lot of people didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can follow me on my page. I'll discuss it further. I don't want to, slow what we doing down right now to get into that. But I thought that was interesting to say. The first head coach and general manager used to be a Knick player in the 1940s. And they sought after him because of his reputation in the New York metropolitan area. Hence, Steve Nash doesn't have a good rapport with the players and staff in the New York metropolitan area because he never played for the Nets or the Knicks. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like Mark Jackson, for example. He would be somebody that we should sought after because he has a reputation that garners respect from the players and the staff, or anybody that's from the New York area that not Nash. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that even was college, was great in college, or in the NBA, a former NBA player that was a Knick, or a Jason Kidd. You see what I'm saying? We need to find somebody like that fits the Brooklyn Nets. And yeah, I thought I mentioned that.
Hold on, bro.
Word. But yeah, man, Zaslofsky, man, he a big deal. I get the specific stat while we wait for tea time. Oh,
yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's kind of like the Knicks. They wanted to change the culture, so you had to get a coach that garners respect, which is Coach Tommy T. You feel me? He's been a coach here before, and he's been a winning coach in the NBA. You feel me? And the name ring bells. So if you want to develop a culture, you absolutely have to get a coach that's going to garner respect from everybody in the organization, the players and staff members alike. And that's what Coach Tommy T is. You feel me? Like literally, he changed the trajectory of the team in a season. You feel me? Like right. So that's why that's important. You feel me? That's why that's important. I get what you said. But that's what the Knicks is doing when they hired Coach Tommy T.
I understand. Same, yeah. Just reiterating the same point. What I was saying. One of Brown's first orders of business was to hire a head coach with name recognition in New York metropolitan area with an impressive enough resume that he would garner the trust and respect of his players and staff. And when I say that, do you think of Steve Nash fit in these boxes? That man for us back then was former Knicks standout in St. John's star Max Zaslofsky, became the first head coach and general manager of the franchise. Before attending college, Zaslofsky served in the U.S. blah, 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 blah. He played for the Red Storm and led them to a 17-5 record in NIT. The Brooklyn native left college to go to join the Chicago Stags of the Basketball Association, the BAA. This is all the way back then, the predecessor of the NBA. At the age of 21, Zaslofsky became the youngest player to receive all NBA honors for the 1946-47 campaign, a record that remained intact until 2005 when it was broken by LeBron James. The very next season, at just 22 years and 121 days old, Zaslofsky became the youngest player to lead the league in scoring until Kevin Durant set a new mark in 2010. So Zaslofsky was a big deal back then, you know what I'm saying? And again, it just shows that the structure, the core of where Brown started from was the coach. Not one mention of a player, not one mention of Dr. J. It wasn't about starting with a player. It was about starting with a coach, and that's where Sean Marks missed. He could have started with Kenny Atkinson, Ime Udoka, Tyrone Lue, or Phil Handy. And out of those five guys, he picked Steve Nash. So, I think the drawing board, the easy fix is Brian Keefe. And I gave y'all his resume prior. He's the easy fix. Shout to Jimmy J1. I see you.
Yeah, he's still not the head coach, though. I mean, knowing Steve Nash is the head coach, y'all gonna be in trouble, bro. Y'all gonna be in trouble. And that's just the honest truth. Because that dude is trash as a coach. You feel me? Like, I've seen it. It's like watching a deer in headlights every time you watch him coach. Like him not knowing what he should be doing. It's like he lied on his resume and got the job, and then he got the job and don't know what the job he's supposed to be doing, son. That's how I feel like watching Steve Nash coach the Brooklyn Nets. You feel me? But
yeah, cowboy, man, to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just imagine him every game before the game. He like, all right, who's gonna be the starting lineup? You and yo and yo. Like 3-card Monty. You ever see the guy flip over the little thing with the thing under the top, and then he look like he just put the names under the range. Like, okay, all right, you're a starting lineup. Like, we don't need you to hold that record, Nash. That's not even a good record that we care for. Like, we need you to be consistent with the guys that's winning in the first quarter. After the first quarter, who's winning? And I think our starting lineup going forward, and hopefully he stays with one starting lineup. Ben Simmons at point, Kyrie at 2, Royce O'Neal at 3, KD at 4, and Nick Claxton at 5. Realistically, I would want KD at 3, but we don't have a big enough team to make KD at 3. We need Day'Ron Sharpe or Nick Claxton to come off of the bench. We can't have them starting at the same time. Yeah. We don't have Drum, and we missing somebody to replace Drum. That's a fact. So, as a ball club, I want to see us get one more piece, and I want to go after center.
So, you know, I was about to say something now. I forgot. Shit. It was about Steve Nash. Damn.
Probably wasn't good.
It was bad. It was bad. It's always bad when it comes.
It probably wasn't good.
So. Always bad. I forgot exactly what I was going to say. But yeah, man, he got it. He's not a good coach, man. He's not a good coach, bro. Like, learning on the job is not what's up. Like, learning on the job is not what's up. Oh, I was about to say is about the rotations and him changing at the lineup. I think it's too much pressure to put a rookie coach in. So like when you got, I feel like when you guys are not winning, or like y'all have some success and then like y'all maybe lose 2 to 3 games, he get nervous because he probably feel like as a coach with the names that's on the roster, y'all supposed to be winning like almost every night. And he get nervous and be like, oh, we got to change it up because we lost more games this week than we won. You know how you like to break it up into 10-game segments? Yeah. You're like, oh, this week we not 6 in 5 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, 6 and 4. We 4 and 6 this week. Oh, we got to change it up because something's not working. When really that's just the ups and downs of the game. You feel me? So. Yeah. I think it's just the pressure of the roster that be killing Steve Nash too. Not just, but that's part of the reason. That the pressure of having KD and Kyrie on the same team and some of the other big name veterans. Because Patty Mills, he may not be a superstar, but that's a well-known veteran. Same thing with Seth Curry. You feel me? Like the weight of the names on the roster might be affecting his decisions too. You feel me? Alongside with him not being a good coach and not knowing what he's doing.
Nah, I hear you, bro. And I'm listening to you, bro. I don't want you to think that I'm listening to you. I'm over here, you know me. I'm looking for the stats, and looking at how everything played out last season. The significance is to say that to just show like how we won, and that's what it was. We were 7-3 for the first 30 games. Our record was 21-9, and that's what I wanted to do is show you. And I'm looking for it. How we was in first place, at 21-9, and then KD went out, and we lost like 13 games, and we went to like 8th. So it took us like 13 games to get us out of playoff contention for real, or take us out of 1-6 or 1-8. And I'm saying that to say, I remember the way Nash hugged KD in that Milwaukee game in Game 6 when he hugged him so dear. It just made me realize that, again, you saved my job. You hugged me. You saved me. You know what I mean? You saved me. And I think at the end of the day, Nash, he takes too much of a nonchalant attitude when KD and Kyrie are in the primes of their career. I see Ime Udoka call a timeout and bark on Marcus Smart. Bark on him. Straight barking on his players. He knew that. He talking to them like he been there 3 years, and Nash is acting like he only been here a year. And I'm saying he got no excuses. Either Sean, and this is why KD went over his head, Sean Marks' head, and went to Joe Tsai, is to say, yo, look, man, we got Brian Keefe here, make him the head coach. We can't have Nash calling shots. Y'all want to protect him, make him the assistant coach, or put him in the front office. But we not going to win a championship, and I think that's the ultimatum. I think the ultimatum is if you don't make trade. If you don't switch the coach, I want to trade. I want to stay, but I don't want to stay if Nash is the head coach. I think that's the ultimatum that KD is giving Joseph.
I think y'all stuck with Nash, man, because the organization will look like complete suckers if they fire Steve Nash now after they came out in the early offseason and said they supported Steve Nash and they were behind him. They said that. So now you gonna fire Steve Nash. They're gonna look bad. It's gonna be rough to get somebody to take that job because it ain't gonna be nobody gonna go into that situation be able to trust the front office. You feel me? Like if you go into a situation as a player or a coach, you got to be able to trust the front office. And if you're gonna go back on your word, that's not cool. You feel me? Because that's what they said. Sean Marks came out and said, "Yo, we are behind Steve Nash and we trust him." All that good shit. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but to change up now, that'd be crazy. As far as KD wanting to be traded, bruh, listen, man, I don't got no respect for none of that. You feel me? I don't care if it's because of Steve Nash. I don't got no respect for none of that because the fact of the matter, you wanted to be there. The organization gave you everything, almost everything you wanted, maybe except for the coach. You ain't even been healthy the whole time.
Who's talking about, KD?
Yeah. You ain't even been healthy though. You ain't even been healthy
I'm
the
a
whole
rebuttal
time.
that some of that.
We gave you a whole. We knew you was injured. Gave you a bag for you to rest a whole year. We paid you a whole year to rest. And because we got a discrepancy on who the coach is, you going to dip. Like the second year you play, after only 90-something games in 2 years, in 3 years, honestly. You feel me? Because we signed you a whole year. 90, and you going to leave? You want to request a trade right after you sign an extension with us? You feel me?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you didn't want to play for Steve Nash that bad, you shouldn't have signed this extension. That should have been a conversation that was had when you were signing your extension. Yo, I want to sign this extension, but this guy can't be the head coach. Because by that time, you already knew you didn't like him as a head coach. So that's why he don't get no respect for me on wanting to be traded now, because the organization, we not only did we pay you for a whole year to take off, we signed two of your best friends. We gave DeAndre Jordan a bag, even though we knew he was washed up. We saw him play for the Knicks being washed up. We didn't even have to look far to see DeAndre Jordan being washed up. We saw that the year before when he was playing for the Knicks that he was washed up. And we gave him a bag because why? You asked for it. You wanted Patty Mills. Guess what? He's here now. We disagree on a coach, and the year after we commit to you on a large extension, you want to talk about trade? Nah, I can't respect it.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I disagree with some of that because I feel like KD, some of that's true. I think KD look at it like, well, the question it begs the question: how important is a coach to winning? And I'll keep doing this. Every week I'm gonna keep doing this because I feel like as a superstar player, let's just say Nash is only there to manage personalities, and you're 21-9 when you get injured. You come back to y'all not winning no games without you, and that's sad from a superstar perspective. Like, damn, y'all rely everything on me to win us, huh? We ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's all on me. And if that's the case, I feel like he feels I could have stayed in Oklahoma for that. I could have stayed in Oklahoma if I'm not going to have, and I think that he feels that Scott Brooks is a better coach than Steve Nash. You know, that's who the coach was for OKC. And again, it's no secret that Brian Keefe, his resume is heavy with OKC. Part of the reason why Westbrook, Harden, and KD was drafted, and he was the defense coordinator, and he was the assistant coach. Like, they asked him, Sam Presti, the general manager, asked Brian Keefe to help him build OKC, and you got what you got when KD was over there. And that being said, he's the assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets, and it is an easy fix. Even if he's the ghost coach, like D'Antoni was when Nash was in his first rookie season as a coach, and he does that. I'm willing to see that as well. But I think KD want more. I think he don't want Nash to have the last word. He wants Brian Keefe to be the head coach. I think that's what the meeting is about.
Yeah, listen, man. KD got a little history going for him, man. That nullifies all that. First thing that don't go in his favor, he want out, bro. You feel me? I think him and Russ, they weren't horrible together, bro. They weren't horrible. They did some really good things together, man. They had the Golden State Warriors down 3-1. Of course, they lost. That's on both of them. That's not just on Russell Westbrook. That's on both of them. So you left that situation. You signed with Golden State, a very good situation. They probably would have won after KD came back. They probably would have won another 2 to 3 rings, bro. Honestly, right? But you didn't like the way Dre was talking to you. Dre called you some names. It made you feel some kind of way. So instead of trying to work that out in a situation that's obviously advantageous to you, obviously going to, if you're about winning, obviously you're going to win there, but the situation ain't going your way, so you leave. You come to Brooklyn, a situation that you built. Now the one thing that don't go your way, you want to leave again. Like the hate the quote Shannon Sharp, he's a track star, son. That's just the fact. That's just the fact of the matter. It's one thing about player empowerment, and it's one thing to do what KD does. Leave when the going get tough. You feel me? That's the difference, bro. You already use your player empowerment to build your situation. You use your player empowerment to go to Golden State. You use your player empowerment to get all the players that you wanted on the Brooklyn Nets. Now, when the one thing don't go your way, you run. That's where it all boils down to, bro. Like, I got no knock about KD and his competitive nature about being on the court and playing the game of basketball. But when it comes to dealing with adversity that's not absolutely on the court, he's soft in that nature. He don't want no conflict, so he run. And that's what's happening now. Instead of standing on his two and making it work and putting his foot down on the coaching situation, he wants to run from that situation. And in essence, he might end up leaving his quote unquote best friend stuck, because I don't see too many teams wanting to trade for Kyrie Irving. There's some teams that's going to trade for Kevin Durant. So now you're going to leave your bestie hanging in Brooklyn? Like, that's craziness, man. Like, you can say what you want about LeBron, right? LeBron ain't never asked for a trade in the middle of his contract, son. Ain't never happened. He left when his time was up. When his time was up, that's when LeBron said, yo, I'm off this. He left to go win in Miami, and guess what he did? He came back to Cleveland to finish the job, and did that. His family wanted to go to L.A. because they love the town. He went to go be a Laker, got a ring there. Say what you want about LeBron. He finishes the job wherever he's at, bro. And KD not that. He's a track star, son.
Now, listen, man, and there's going to be a lot of criticism about KD, but I'm just going over the stats, man. And again, we were 21-9 when he got hurt, and he got in the very next game was January 23rd. We lost to Minnesota, LA Lakers, Denver, Golden State, Phoenix, Sacramento, Utah, Denver, Boston, Washington, Miami. The next time we got a win, so we went, our last win was January 21st. We lost from January 23rd to February 12th. We went a whole month on a losing streak. It was the worst. And I'm saying that to say, in that span of games, is where Nash either got his stripes or put on a hot seat for not being a good enough coach. You shouldn't need a superstar to at least 1 out of 13 games. That's a fact. Even if he was the main reason and catalyst for why we were winning those games and had a 21-9 record, out of 13 games, you could have at least gave us 3, 4, 4 and 9 without KD. That's something. You know what I'm saying? You gave us 0. That means we did not win unless KD was on the floor, and it was so true that we wasn't even winning when Kyrie and Harden was on the floor.
I was just about to say that.
So I'm saying KD was everything to the Brooklyn Nets leadership on and off the floor, and I'm saying that because of his post-game interviews and the 21-9 record on the floor. And I'm saying that to say, yeah, he's saying like, yo, I'm out of this and I don't want to play here anymore. But at one time he was tapped in. You know, that early in the season, he was tapped in. And I think that losing streak, saying that Nash didn't win no games without him being there, is why he said, you know, he mentally kind of like, I could have stayed in OKC for this. I land the plane saying that.
So 2 things. I agree with you. I blame that all on Steve Nash because you can't tell me that you can't win. You couldn't find a way to win 1 of those 13 games.
Go ahead, talk your shit. I gotta go charge my phone.
Yeah. But I want you to hear the second part of what I'm about to say. But yeah, I could do this first part. Yeah, there's no way that you can't find a way to win 1 of those 13 games with Kyrie and James Harden on the team, and you know, and with Cam Thomas on the team too, which is a bucket. You feel me? Like. He ain't the best. He wasn't the best rookie in New York, but he could score. You feel me? But you know what I mean. So you mean to tell
best rookie in New York? What we talking about?
Now I said there's no way that Steve Nash shouldn't have been able to find a way to win 1 of those 13 games with whatchamacallit, Kyrie playing, James Harden playing, and a young bucket in Cam Thomas. I said he wasn't the best rookie in New York, but he a bucket. You feel me? Like
stop it. He the best rookie in New York.
That's cap. That's cap. He's not a rookie.
Show it.
He ain't a rookie no more. So that's cap.
All right. Well, last season he was the best rookie in New York.
He wasn't.
I'm doing a poll. We're gonna do a poll. We're gonna ask. Pause. I guess.
You gonna ask on a Brooklyn Nets page. Like
I'm asking on all the Brooklyn Nets pages. I'm gonna ask on the Knicks pages too.
No, I'm pretty sure you on some regular NBA pages. Put the poll up. Pause. On one of those pages, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Where there's impartial people and unbiased fans alike, and I guarantee you, Quentin Grimes is gonna come out a victor on that. But yeah, so there's no way that you can't find a way to win at least 1 game in that 13 game stretch. That's ridiculous. You feel me?
That's where the discrepancy comes from. I agree with
you know your short little soliloquy about KD and being checked in and then now being checked out because of whatever reason, bro. I made the same arguments about James Harden, and you would not hear none of it. You call James
Harden with what?
About being checked out because he's seen the landscape of the team. About him being invested initially.
He did us bad. His intent was bad. His intent is bad from yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
He needed a liaison team to get back to Morey. He could not go straight to Philly.
He came here and he was invested in winning. No, he was invested in winning. He was playing very well for y'all for quite some time.
Not 7 draft picks worth. Not Jared the Carrot.
That's not his fault that y'all traded that.
He wasn't worth all that.
That's not his fault. But what I will say, he was playing very well when he was healthy. Put it on the line in the playoffs, played on a pulled hamstring, gave y'all a triple-double in Game 7, even though y'all lost. He played on a pull. He played on a pulled hammy. He was invested. Anybody who plays through an injury like a pulled hamstring is invested in the team. He got checked out when he realized that Kyrie wasn't invested, and the front office in shambles. And he like, yo, there's a whole team that want me. That is trying to win the right way. I want to go there. Now, KD is doing literally the exact same thing that James Harden is doing.
I want to say that.
Yes, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. He won out because the things are not going the way that he expected them to go.
Because of
Now,
Nash.
now it's okay and you understand because it's KD. That's wild, bro.
Nah, it's not. It's not that. It's because again, remember, and this is the key point that I'm making without going all over the place. The rhetoric this entire time was that Nash was here because of KD. So when I'm saying all of this, and you contrasting him to Harden, Harden was never the reason why Nash was here. We never blamed it on him.
That
Again,
has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
No, but what I'm saying is, yeah, you said, oh, he should have seen that when he signed the extension. I don't know the specific reason on why he signed the extension with the Brooklyn Nets, but I do know enough to know that he probably believed in Nash before that injury. I don't think he thought that Nash would be that bad of a coach if he was not on the floor. And Nash showed his true colors, and it was disgusting. And I could see why KD wants Brian Keefe to be the head coach. I understand the pushback. And far as Harden, I say it's different because he wasn't in shape when he got here. He had he did a whole transformation, and then he wasn't worth the price of tea that it costed to get him.
That's Sean Marks' fault.
All right, I'm not saying it's not his. I'm not saying it's Harden's fault. I'm saying that to say he chose Brooklyn because Brooklyn was the only team that would allow such a outrageous trade. You know what I'm saying?
So
there was no other team that would be the lead that would have did that.
Again, that's not James Harden's fault.
No, that's not his fault. But case in point is, no, he still didn't do enough to replace Jarrett and Karras. Is my point.
James Harden came to the Nets and was balling out when he was healthy. When he first,
I would have rather had Jarrett and Karras on the team, and he led in turnovers that season as well.
I hear that hot shit, but y'all was winning a lot of games off of the work that he was putting in too. Let's not act like that wasn't happening, bro. Let's not act like that wasn't happening. Like we don't. Ain't no we'll see. We saw it already. James Harden was putting in work.
I still feel like out of Jarrett and Karras, forget the draft picks. I'd rather have Jarrett and Karras over James Harden.
Again, that's not what my argument was. My argument that has nothing to do with who you rathered. You feel me? What I'm talking about is the difference between that. How you're okay with KD wanting a trade because he's checked out. You could see how he was checked out, but not having the same understanding to see that James Harden was checked out because of Kyrie Irving, the coaching, and the whole culture that was going on with the Brooklyn Nets.
I feel like he used us to get to Philly. He had intentions to go to Philly on his way to Brooklyn, not KD. KD didn't have an exit strategy.
That's inaccurate.
No, to you, it's an opinion.
That's inaccurate. And I'm letting you know your opinion is inaccurate. Because when he forced his way out of Houston. He didn't make no demand on where he wanted to be traded. He forced his way out of Houston. That's where the whole fat stuff came in. But when he got here, when he got to Brooklyn, he played decent. He played very well. I'm saying decent. He played very well aside from the turnovers. You feel me? He played very well. Showed that he was invested in the team in the playoffs playing on the pulled hamstring. I think you underplay that. Because he could have easily sat on the bench. Y'all had no other option, bro. There was nobody that could have took James Harden's place. And it was obvious because when he wasn't playing, y'all was getting absolutely obliterated by the Bucks. The Bucks was putting work on y'all when James Harden wasn't playing.
That's Steve Nash fault, bro.
Y'all needed his presence on the court just to even be a decoy to make those games closer.
Nah, they was letting him shoot and he was missing.
Bro, because he was
damn decoy.
He was hurt. He played.
He shouldn't have been in the game. That's Nash's fault.
My thing is his commitment because he could have sat. He could have said, "Hey, I'm hurt."
Money wise, if he would have sat, he would have lost chicken.
That's cap. You're not gonna lose money for being injured, bro. That's cap. That's cap.
I don't trust this. I don't think it's the same intent from KD to Harden.
James Harden would not have lost any money if he sat because he pulled a hamstring. He would have lost no money. Zero.
I don't think his intent was to ever say. You got to realize
he played through the pulled hamstring when he could have sat out. That shows that he was dedicated to helping your team win.
Regardless of what you said, right? And I'm not disrespecting what you said, but stat wise, We gave 7 draft picks for James Harden. That's the future.
Bro,
He
that
stayed
has
for-
nothing to do
he's-
with his intent. You
But look,
arguing
what
something that has
what I'm
nothing
saying,
to do with James
but
Harden's
listen,
intent.
the-
It don't
the
matter
road-
who they
the
traded
road
him
that
for.
the road to hell is paved with good intent. He stayed. He won 25 games with the Brooklyn Nets, but that's it. And then he left. So it's like, bro, at the end of the day, when you're just talking about the stat numbers, he won 25 games with the Brooklyn Nets, and we had to give up 7 draft picks and Jared and Karras for him. When KD came to the team, we didn't have to give up nobody. You feel what I'm saying? So
That
that's
has
my
nothing
point.
to do with his intent. That has nothing. You arguing stuff that has nothing to do with James Harden's intent.
I
You
feel like his
arguing stuff.
intent was to use us via to
you
get to Philly.
arguing
That's
stuff
my
that has
point.
everything to do with your trash ass GM. Yeah, that's Sean Mark's fault. That has nothing to do with James Harden. What y'all gave up
It's
for
an
him to
opinion.
come here, and what he saw when he got here is that there were people on the team that were not as serious about winning that he was, i.e. being Kyrie Irving, and he wanted out because he saw a place that he originally wanted to go that had a player of equal value to him that could make the trade so he could get to a destination where he felt that that team was interested in winning.
He couldn't do that. It was against NBA rules, NBA laws. He could not go straight to Philly because Daryl Morey was the GM in Houston. And he went to Philly. That's like tampering or something.
No, that's not against any rules. For
yes,
the team,
it is.
For
It
a
was
team,
against
no.
So you're saying
For a
Harden
team-
could have went straight to Philly?
For a team for the Rockets to trade him there, that's not tampering. The Rockets have to agree
know.
to trade him to Philly. That's
I
what-
knew his intent was
it's ta-
negative.
the
Negative intent.
Tampering is this: when there's a free agent and a player is about to be a free agent, and a team makes contact with that player before his free agency. That's tampering, but not for the Rockets to trade him to Philly. The Rockets chose not to trade him to Philly because Brooklyn gave a better deal. That's
Nasty
the difference.
work.
That's
Nasty
nasty.
work.
Sean Marks, that has nothing to do with his intent to play
I
basketball
don't
in
believe
Brooklyn.
Harden was ever going to stay for long term. I never felt that way.
Regardless if he was going to stay for long term, when he was here and he was healthy, he played. And he saw that the team was not going in the right direction. The same way KD is seeing that the team is not going in the direction that he wants. So he wanted out. Same thing with James Harden. This is trash. Kyrie Irving is acting weird. And this guy who's the head coach has absolutely no idea what he's doing. Yo, I want out of here. And pretty much what KD is doing. Hey, y'all bugging. The GM don't know what the hell he doing. The coach is tripping. Yo, I want out of here, dog. That's the same thing, bro. But you just have more love for KD than you do James Harden. And that's the difference, bro. Because really, it's not much of a difference.
Now, I mean, again, these are all opinions, but I feel like Harden never meant to stay here. He always had intent to go play for Morey again.
Clearly, KD didn't have no intent to stay here.
And when you look at the gap between Harden playing for Morey, I think it's only one season. After Morey went to be in charge in Philly, Harden was out, mentally tapped out. He was done. You know what I mean? But
the reason why he was done because the Houston Rockets was a fucking in shambles, bro.
they went small and they fucking lost their center. They was bugging.
Losing Clint Capella was ridiculously dumb. You feel me? That was strike number one. Him and Chris Paul couldn't really get along, but they were winning though. Then you replace him with Russell Westbrook. That didn't work out. Then you get Carmelo Anthony. You only give him 20 games as a Rocket. And the game before y'all released him, he dropped 20 off the bench. And then you started entering a rebuild with James Harden on you. Not only that, the next year you get John Wall, a person that notoriously injury prone. Like what star player would want to stay in that situation? Nobody. Yo, so he forced his way out.
I don't know. I don't trust Harden, and I'm glad when
you shouldn't trust KD neither.
The first time we seen Brooklyn Nets versus Philly, we whooped their ass, and I was hoping to play them in the playoffs as well.
And Philly got their payback. Had
Yeah.
KD tight. Had KD
Yeah.
tight on the court.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to meet them in the second round. It was unfortunate that we got swept in the first round. And again, the meeting was supposed to be today. I don't know what happened. I haven't, I've been checking Twitter and all of that, but I haven't seen anything, heard any news about KD and Joe Tsai and what happened at the meeting. I'm interested to see. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to see. I'm anxious because ultimately I think that's what it is. Until someone can prove me wrong, he's going up there to push Brian Keefe being the head coach from now on. That's his issue with the Brooklyn Nets. Otherwise, he's good. And Sean Marks, he's going to continue to be on the hot seat if he don't make this right. Because I'm gonna be a Brooklyn Nets fan regardless of what Sean Marks do and don't do. And the fans are going to stay loyal to the Brooklyn Nets, in my opinion. I think Sean Marks has to understand that, going from to GM from what he was doing, he definitely got room for error. Working with Joe Tsai gave him room for error, and he definitely committed the error. But he definitely got to fix it, man. Yeah. This is something that he has to fix immediately, because by giving away all those draft picks, you immediately would just, you going forward, you got us in playoff mode, or you got us at the bottom. We either sink or swim this season. You know what I'm saying? And without these draft picks, we can't go into rebuild mode unless one of these players like KD, Kyrie, or Ben Simmons get traded, and we do it with draft picks, and then it happens. But going into this season, I think we compete for a championship more on the side of that than us getting a trade, getting picks, and going into rebuild mode. So we didn't even use our draft pick this season. We gave it away for Royce O'Neal. So I think we still want to compete and be one of the top teams to go for it. That's what I'm looking for.
I think KD out of there, bro, because obviously this is going to be the last season Kyrie is a Brooklyn Net. If he stays, if they don't trade him. And I think KD is going to want to leave shortly after. I think that's just what's going to happen. But, we about to leave soon. We about to leave. So, yeah, I mean, I ain't got much to say about the Knicks because all's been quiet on our front. I just can't wait for the season to start, man. I'm fiending. I need some New York Knicks basketball in my life. I think we're going to shock a lot of people. I think we're going to see an amazing – like, Julius Randle's lost a lot of weight, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He lost a lot of weight. He's looking like he's ready to play the minutes that's going to be required of him. You know what I mean? Like, I think he did that transformation because he was like, yo, Coach Tommy T going to play me 40 minutes. I got to be ready. And I think also, too, you heard Obi talking about how him and Julius Randle was talking about being on the floor a lot more in the future together and liking to see what that lineup will look like. So, for all the Knicks fans that's clamoring for Obi to get more minutes, I think that's going to happen. You feel me? As long as he stayed committed and improve on the stay committed to improving on the defensive end, I think Obi going to get those minutes. I think we're going to see another step in improvement for RJ Barrett. I think we're going to see another 2-point jump in his point per game average, and we're going to see his field goal percentages increase. You feel me? I'm projecting RJ Barrett to be around 22 points per game this season. That depends on if we trade for Donovan Mitchell. If we trade for Donovan Mitchell, obviously that won't happen. I think he might revert a little bit because he won't get less touches. I think he probably go down to like 18 points a game, and with higher field goal and 3-point percentage increases. That's if we trade for Donovan. But if not, I think he goes up to 22. I think we see Julius Randle go up to about 22, 23 points a game with higher field goal and 3-point percentages and I think that all happens because of the point guard. I think Jalen Brunson's going to make a tremendous difference. I think we're going to see quickly come off the bench averaging between 15 and 17 points a game because that boy is a bucket. You feel me? And I see the tries that I seen him take at the end of the season playing the point guard position was great. You feel me? The one thing that impressed me most about Quickly, I said this quite a few times, is his assist to turnover ratio. He's a score-first point guard, but at the same time, he don't turn over the ball that much. and he still get pretty good assist numbers. You feel me? I think when you talk about a point guard that gets you 5+ assists a game is good. You feel me? Especially if he's coming off the bench. If you get a point guard that's coming off the bench giving you 5+ assists and only averaging like 1 or less turnovers a game, that's amazing. You feel me? That's amazing basketball coming from your backup point guard. Healthy D Rose, that helps a lot too. You feel me? As far as what we're going to do at the 2 position, I don't know. I obviously think that we should start Quentin Grimes over Evan Fournier, have Evan Fournier play with coming off the bench as a 3. I think that would help him a lot because Evan is not a weak player. He's just slow-footed. And I think playing against slow wing guys off the bench at the 3 position can help him defensively. You feel me? You're not playing against guys with as much wiggle to their game, even though some 3s will absolutely scrape you ridiculous. But that might help his game coming off. And I think playing in the fast, like playing with Quickly and a more up tempo, because I Quickly like to run the floor. That's going to help Evan. Quickly has amazing vision in transition. Find Evan for them open corner 3s that he like. I think that's going to be dope. And I think we see another increase in Obi's game. I think Harkenstein, I can never pronounce his name. I think he's a tremendous addition. He's a stretch 5. You feel me? That's something that the team missed. I think he could fit well with the first and second units. You feel me?
Nice.
I think he could play with Julius and I think he's going to have to, especially with guys that like to get to the basket. I think he could definitely, and he's a good defender too, so I don't think we miss much when it comes to the defensive end of the basketball when we put Harkenstein in any lineup. You feel me? That'll open up the court for Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Brunson. You feel me? Like, I think that was a tremendous pickup and understated, because when you got so many people that like to get to the basket and could do it as well as a Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Brunson, you could definitely use a guy that can spread the floor, and I think that's going to help his game a lot too, because he's going to get a lot of open 3-point shots. You know what I mean? So that was a big pickup too. And then I think we also going to get to see some minutes from Jericho Sims, because as much as I like Mitch, he's not the most in shape person, and it's evident when he's on the court. So the progression in Jericho Sims is beautiful, because then you could caress Mitchell Robinson a lot more, and Jericho could get those minutes in that PT. I think at the 5 position we were looking really strong. You know what I mean? A lot of young guys that could get PT. You feel me? As far as what's going to happen with Cam Reddish, I don't know. I don't know what his PT going to look like. Obviously, I would like him to get some PT, but we very stacked at the wing position, man. Like, it's going to be hard for him to get PT. But when he on the court, he could ball out. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I have to say for the rest of this show. I just wanted to give my last little spill on the Knicks. You know what I mean? But
I always appreciate it, man. We all do, but again, me too. What I will say is this: there's predictions online about Cam Thomas' second season. I say he'll average 15 points and 7 assists. There's people saying he's going to average 17 points and 4 assists. We'll see. Excuse me. I think going forward, the front office is going to put a lot of confidence into all 4 of the sophomore guys, and Day double Day they like to call him. He averages a double. Kessler Edwards or Day'Ron Sharpe, Kessler Edwards, DDJ or David Duke Jr., but we call him DDJ, and Cam Thomas, last but not least. I think in their second year, I think Day'Ron Sharpe continues to have a double. We're going to continue all season to call him double Day. And part of the reason why we gave up the draft pick, because he's going to give it a lot of minutes at the center position or the power forward position. I think he's more of a power forward than a center, and I think Nick Claxton is more of a power forward than a center, and I think we need to go after a true big man, a real center. But that's neither here nor there. But I think they both have good seasons. I think KD should play the 3, and we should go get a big man, a true big man. But again, like I said, if KD come back, I think he's going to be a professional, and I think he's going to hoop, and he's going to hoop with a purpose. Whether that be for a new contract or for teams to be attracted or whatever the case, same thing for Kyrie. Even if he ain't playing for the Brooklyn Nets morale-wise, he's going to be playing to be likable for teams to say, all right, we need to do business with Kyrie. And part of that is availability. I want to see 55 plus games from Kyrie. At least give me 50. At least give me half. You know what I'm saying? At least give me 41. You know what I mean? But I'm looking to see 50 to 55 games from a Kyrie. I don't expect a KD to give us 82 games. I think he'll give us a good 50, 55 games as well. That would be a good season for the Brooklyn Nets. Again, we still need to replace Drum. And that's all I got for you guys, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Hold on. I'm about to ask you about one thing.
I forgot to ask you something too.
So what about Mike James? He was on a podcast.
Oh man,
that KD threw in the towel before it was over. He said, "Yo, we out of here. I'm gonna come and watch you play in Europe because we about to lose." What's up with that? What's up with your boy, man?
Well, for one, Mike James, man, you can't be call yourself a homie and ace and out your man KD like that. For one, it should have never made the news. And second, this is aisle 7. This mess we gotta clean. This is messy. This is messy. It's nasty, and it just adds to the point that he doesn't want to play with the Brooklyn Nets. And ultimately, to push back for KD, I would say that he probably was upset at Nash for not playing Blake Griffin and not playing LaMarcus Aldridge and not making no adjustments to the defense that Ime Udoka was putting on him. He did not weaponize KD at all. You know, when you look at the playoffs and the adjustments that Ime Udoka made, he really did make adjustments. So did KD make that comment? As a Brooklyn Nets fan, I want to say, nah, he ain't make that comment. But the truth is, he might. You know what I'm saying? He might have checked out and said, yo, you know what I mean? I'm out of here. And then, you know, he said that, and then he asked for the trade. So it looked like he might have said it, but which begs the question: is he gonna be a Brooklyn Nets at the start of the season? We still don't know. I'm saying last week I said 90%. Now I'm gonna stay with my 90. I'm gonna just keep my humble 90. 92%. I said I'll stay with my humble 92%. But that 8% is a big if. You know what I mean? And the question that I wanted to ask you, T-Time, was I could get into Joe Harris, but I'll do that on my vlog and shit. But do you think that the same success that Patrick Ewing brought the New York Knicks that RJ Barrett can in the visit in the playoffs that many seasons and winning that many playoff games?
Yeah, all day in America.
And listen, the only reason why I'm saying this. I just want to say this one thing. The only reason why I'm saying this, and I like to do this, is to say that the person, I like to give credit to the team, to the person that was drafted by the team. So yeah, I know a lot of Knicks fans say that it's Randall's team, but just for conversation's sake, I say that it's RJ's team because how well he's played, and he was a high draft pick, and I'm contrasting that to Ewing being a high draft pick.
So the reason why I still Julius Randle's team until further notice is because he's still the best player on the team. I don't, so that's that. But now when I say, do I think RJ Barrett could bring the same success as talk about, like as far as playoff wise when it comes to the Knicks? I mean, I think RJ Barrett could help contribute to the Knicks making deep runs in the playoffs. In no way, shape, and form am I going to say that he's going to be the next Patrick Ewing because, like, as far as the Knicks go, no, because obviously Patrick Ewing is the greatest Knick ever. Like, he leads the Knicks all time in everything except for assists. You feel me? Like, so I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is if you look at the way he's trending upward, and if you look at his stat compared to other top players in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, I forgot who else. I think Jason Tatum, and it was somebody else. His numbers are better than all their third years. And this is a fact. Like, you go do your Googles. I'm not even.
So on the redraft, he's like number 2 after John Morant. If it was a redraft, like far as production wise from when they got drafted till
I mean,
now. John
obviously-
Morant number 1, he number 2.
Obviously, because Zion is injured, but when Zion's healthy, he's still number 1. You feel me? Like if you
Over
watch,
Ja, we'll see. I gotta
if,
see.
if when Zion was healthy, bro, Zion was balling out of control. Let's not act like that wasn't a thing. You feel
No,
me?
but,
Like,
but just productive wise, I think Morant set the bar pretty high.
so
And
the reason why you think that is because Zion's been injured. But when Zion was healthy, bruh, he was putting like 20 something points a game in his
we
rookie
gonna
season.
see.
He was averaging like 25 points a game in his rookie year before he got hurt, bro. Like we're not gonna act like that didn't happen. But
no. This season, I think
think-
he's gonna be healthy. So we definitely want to see.
I think the draft and the redraft it goes to like if you like you Zion obviously drops because of the injury. You feel me? But that's the only reason, not because of his play. It's because of the fact that he couldn't stay healthy. But yeah, but again, like I was saying, like what I was saying earlier, that's facts. You could Google that. Like RJ Barrett's third year compared to Kawhi, Jimmy Butler's, Jason Tatum, and it was another player I forget that his is better. You feel me? Jaffe Joe, why you always coming on here capping, bro?
Let's run the city.
Why you always coming on here capping, bro?
That's what I got.
Yeah, so like but I say all that to say if you look at the way RJ Barrett is trending, he's trending in the right direction, bro. He's going to be an all-star. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year, but he's definitely inevitably going to be an all-star. He doesn't get nearly as much respect that he deserves. I think he's underrated tremendously. And the fact that a lot of people still think Tyler Hero is a better basketball player than RJ Barrett baffles me, and it's super disrespectful.
I won't go there. I won't play like that.
If you look at every ranking that they rank these players in, they have Tyler Hero above RJ Barrett. Tyler Hero don't even start for his team. He comes off the bench, bro. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Tyler Hero is no way in the world. RJ Barrett is complete player-wise, is a better player. The only thing that Tyler Hero does better is shoot. You feel me? That's it. He shoot threes better than RJ Barrett. That's it. And he got better handle. But when it comes to complete game, RJ Barrett is leaps and bounds better than Tyler Hero. This is a fact, and it's disrespectful. But back to the main point of this conversation. RJ Barrett is a future all-star, and the way that this team is being built around him is going to prove that the team and him could be successful for a long period of time. You feel me? If you look at that, there's a lot of young players that's being groomed around him, a lot of young veterans. You feel me? Like Julius Randle, young veteran. Fournier, he's older, 30, but he's not terribly old, right? Yeah. Then you got your old veteran in Derrick Rose, who says he wants to play until he's 40 something. You feel me? So, if you look at then you got your young guys. Most of the team is 25 or less. You feel me? Like ability to grow together, build the chemistry. You can plug in. You got future financial flexibility as of right now. You feel me? Because if we don't trade for Donovan Mitchell in the next 2 years, our contract situation looks really good. You feel me? I mean, if after next season our contract situation start to look really good, we could still be able to, make some plays for some really solid role players if they're available. So just looking at that, he's going to be successful in the future with the New York Knicks. Again, I'm not even putting it past the Knicks to surprise people this year and get past the first, not only make the playoffs, get past the first round. You feel me? So we gonna see, man. I told somebody, it's like, yo, it's not hard to believe that. I think, how many games we won last year? Like 40 something? No, 30 something. Yeah, hold on. Because I just want to have my numbers right when I say what I'm about to say.
Okay. Yeah, well,
I say we could be somewhere around 45 to 47 games next season. Is it hard to believe that we could win 10 more games this season? No, it's not. Not at all. Especially when you think about it, we lost more games up double digits than 10 games. We have more games that we should have won by double that we was up to double digits last year. You feel
Yeah.
me? So to say that we could easily revert that and win those games and win 47 games or 45 to 47 games, that's easy to me. To me, that's easy. I think that's going to happen. You feel me? Now to bring us to the upper echelons of the East, to say that we could win close to 50, that's not far-fetched, bro. Like, it's not far-fetched. Is it like a high probability? No, but I don't think that is too unlikely that it could happen. You feel me? So, yeah, but to answer your question so we can get off this, is that, yes, I think RJ Barrett can help bring the Knicks to our former glories, especially now that he has a real legitimate point guard. You feel me? Yeah. Done.
Yeah, and I got you, man. And in closing, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. And just remember that in the redraft that Cam Thomas is in, he's in conversations with 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and he's number 27. And as far as 20 points, scored 20 points that season. He did it 10 times. The only players that did more of it were the draft picks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. So he has a high ceiling. And it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog, man. It's, you know what I'm saying, with Tea Time, and this is KVN, who run the City, the podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed the content. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all, you know, again, there's a lot of dope comments that I didn't get to. I don't hate Harden. That's my perspective. Shout out to Jimmy J1. And sometimes I just be going back and forth with Tea Time. But we see y'all in the comments. And subscribe, man, to the YouTube. We trying to get heavy on YouTube. I'll have more content for y'all soon. Shout out to Tea Time. Shout out to the only Knick fan I got love for, and Kalia. And
yeah, she's sleeping,
man. Yeah. We be back at it next week, man.
Yeah, that's facts. See y'all next week, man. Enjoy y'all weekend and all that